on the bank to sleep, at rest in the slumbering palaces of kings. Hamlet and village saw the freight van pass. Now from the urban areas, from the capital cities and all that thing, she is going into the suburban areas. Pardon?
We want her to find him.
For me?
No, we want Savitri to find him.
How?
No. How she finds
Him?
We want her to find him. That's why you go on.
Yeah, yeah, you have to find this right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, but that will take some time. You see, it'll take some time. See, it's not going to be easy. She's going to travel almost for 1 year. You see, we have seen that Aryavarta. So she's going to travel from place to place through the capital cities, through the villages, through the forest land, through the hermitages, through the places where the rishis and the munis and the sages, they meditate and do all that. She's going to travel the whole belt, that whole Aryavarta, you see, the land of spiritual tapasya. Aryavarta would stand for the land of spiritual tapasya. It is in that land of spiritual tapasya, she has to find her life's mate. Spiritual tapasya. Aryavarta would technically mean, I would put it that way, Aryavarta would stand for that, the land of spiritual tapasya, where tapasya has been done by the spiritual aspirants, you see. So it is through that belt she is going from place to place, you see. And somewhere there she has to find him, you see. Because he has already told you. Firstly, he has told you three things. Firstly, she is driven from within. It means that she is bound to succeed. Then, of course, he also tells us there is a presence thrown from above her head, carrying her. There is a presence always, constantly with her. Then, he has also said, while she is driving her chariot from place to place, there is a divine guide, G capital, who is leading her from place to place. So, the entire navigation of her chariot is done by all these three people, basically by the presence. The navigation is done by that presence. And a guide is there to prompt you, go this, that way, you see. And she is able to hear that voice from within and follow it up, you see. So now she is entering into the place of different type, not from marts and cities and loud acts of men, but to villages. Hamlet and village saw the fate van pass. Now the poet is already telling you fate van, see. Savitri is going to meet her fate and she has to see the consequences of that fate. The people are saying, oh, this is Savitri now going. The fate van is passing like that, you see. They are not even aware of it. But the poet is suggesting that way, you see. Fate van. Now, by the way, van is a wagon, basically, in the sense of a wagon. It is a horse-drawn wagon, van, horse-drawn wagon in the technical sense. And therefore, it is that van, she is now horse-drawn chariot, another name for that chariot, you see. Now, in my opinion, unfortunately, in the revised edition, the phrase is, Hamlet and village saw the fate vain pass. W-A-I-N, see. W-A-I-N, vain, which is nothing but a farm wagon. You see. Vain is a farm wagon. In the revised edition, they put fate vain, W-A-I-N, see. I mean, it doesn't really appeal to me. Hamlet and village saw the fate van pass. And see the rhythm also. Fate vain pass and fate. Apart from the sound content and the meaning content, the whole poetry which is there in this line, that gets lost, you see, totally, you see. That is the contribution of the famous revised edition of Savitri. Unfortunately. Well, homes of life bent to the soil it plows. So he is describing briefly, very quickly, the village life, the huts, the people, how they toil on the face in their houses. Homes of a life bent to the soil it plows. For sustenance of its short and passing days, that is human life in the villages, you see, days, that transient keep their old repeated course, unchanging in the circle of a sky which arcs not above our mortal toil. Well, this is the life of a common man, keeps on repeating, toil from morning till evening, birth after birth, life after life, it goes on like that. This is sort of a routine life of a person who is not aware of his own possibilities. Away from this thinking creature's burdened hours. Now we are coming to another scene. Thinking creatures burdened hour. To free and griefless spaces now she turned, not yet perturbed by human joys and fears. Not yet perturbed by human joys and fears. Basically, there is a shift of scene now. First, we had the description of the palaces, the places where she was living as a royal guest in different capital cities. Then she is going to the villages and suburban areas and seeing the toiling life. The world ways open before Savitri. So these are the world ways opening out to Savitri. Now she has left even the suburban areas. She is going into the forest, into the wilderness, into the loneliness of nature, where there is no thinking creature. No man is there, but nature, pure nature. Away from these thinking creatures, burdened hours, to free and griefless spaces, now she turned. So that is also a commentary of lack of freedom and the presence of grief in the life of a thinking creature. See, indirectly this is a commentary on the life of a thinking creature, that it is not free and it is full of grief. Away from these thinking creatures, burdened hours, to free and griefless spaces, now she turned, not yet perturbed by human joys and fears. She is coming into a sort of a midden life of nature, there is pristine life. Here was the childhood of primeval earth, the purity of nature as in its origin. Here, timeless musings, large and glad and still, man had forborne as yet to fill with cares. Imperial acres of the eternal sower, acres of the sower. He is the farmer, great farmer, and here are lands and lands and lands stretching in front of him, and it is in those lands he is going to sow the seeds of nature's joy everywhere. Imperial acres of the eternal sower, and wind-stirred grasslands winking in the sun. So you have got steppes, you have got beautiful grasslands there, and of course swaying with the wind. Or mid green musing of woods and rough-browed hills, If it is not plains, then you have got hills. Musing woods and broad hills, in the groves murmurous be air humming wide, or past the long lapsing voice of silver floods, the streams are there, the rivers are flowing, and their voices are singing the songs of joy. Or past the long lapsing voice of silver floods, like a swift hope journeying among the dreams, hasten the chariot of the golden bride, hasten the chariot of the golden bride, now into the scenes of nature. You see, this is a very beautiful thing, very beautiful simile also. Hasten like a swift hope, journeying among the dreams. So you are dreaming, and there is a hope in the dream which is moving from place to place. Like a swift hope, journeying. So, in other words, Savitri is riding the chariot, going from the place to place, is not only the dream of nature, but is also a hope. The hope will be fulfilled. That is the suggestion of it. Hope and chariot moving, they are one and the same here. Hope is the chariot. Is also the fulfillment. See? So the poetic technique, the art, the skill of poetry is absolutely marvelous, you see. The interwoven phrasal, you see. Like a swift hope. See, this is a very original simile. That she is moving like a swift hope. She is expecting, yes, this must happen, this must happen, this must happen. Out of the world's immense, unhuman past, there is nobody human there. It is not inhuman, unhuman. This is a coinage of Shevendra. This word unhuman does not exist in dictionary. But he has purposely used it in the context here. Out of the world's immense, unhuman path, tracked memories and ageless remnants came, domains of life enfeoffed to an antique calm. They become part of a calm, those domains. Listen to the unaccustomed sound of hooves. See, this is a place where no chariot had gone. And now that place is listening to the new sound of the chariot moving to those places. Domains of light and fief. Fief is a kingdom, small attachment, so to say, and fief. So attached, joined. Listen to the unaccustomed sound of hooves and large, immune, entangled silences absorbed her into emerald secrecy. Although she is moving here, the chariot is rattling, the hooves are making sound on the path, but the whole calm is so deep, it is able to absorb it in its secrecy. It is totally, the sound itself is kind of absorbed in its secrecy here. Absorbed her into emerald secrecy, and slow, hushed wizard nests of fairy bloom, environed with a colored snare, her wheels. So as she is going through the grassland, the flowers, the trees, they are kind of entangled in the wheel. This is sheer poetry, see. It cannot be described. See, I mean, how the lyrical, how enchanting poetry can be. Actually, in one of the letters, Shevendra says that one of the attempts he has in writing Savitri is to bring in his epic, the Kalidasian and Upanishadic element as far as possible in English. The Kalidasian element, the Upanishadic element, in Savitri as far as possible in English. I think he has far exceeded that possibility. He has created a new idiom, a new language, a new mode of expression in English to describe. It is, I would even say, very sweet, very enchanting, very lyrical, which is in fact super Kalidasian. Even Kalidas would not attain to that. Kalidas is romantic, very lyrical, very sweet, very romantic, but basically. But here the lyricism has the power, the content of the psychic spiritual. The psychic spiritual is so intense here that it throws away everything else, you see. So it is in that sense surely super Kalidasian. Not only he has brought the Kalidasian into English poetry as far as possible in English, he has superseded Kalidas, giving to it the aesthetic dimension of psychic spiritual. That is what we have got here. In fact, this whole poetry is like that. The book of love and this quest, they are full of like that, you see. And slow, hush wizard nets of fairy blue, environed with their colored snare, her wheels. As they are going, all the flowers, trees, etc., bushes, they are getting entangled in the chariot wheels. And therefore they are becoming colored with those flowers. The strong, importunate feet of time, the stubborn feet of time, the importunate feet of time, the pertinacious feet of time, the strong, importunate feet of time fell soft. While she is moving, everything has become those those stubborn feet of time is themselves have fallen soft, become soft. Along these lonely ways, his tightened pace forgotten, and his dark and ruinous round. The sweetness of Savitri is such that time has forgotten its harshness, its cruelty. Forgotten and its dark and ruinous round, the cycles of destroying time, they have fallen silent because of her movement. The inner ear that listens to solitude, this is the beauty of Shivendu's poetry. The sounds of time have fallen silent, but the ear behind the ear, the true ear, who is the true listener of sound, the ear behind the ear, the inner ear that listens to solitude. What does it listen to? Solitude. Solitude has a voice, it speaks, and that voice of the solitude can be heard only by the inner ear. We hear only noises, shrill noises, cacophonies in our life. The inner ear that listens to solitude, leaning self-wrapped, unboundedly could hear the rhythm, the intenser, wordless thought, the way the thought would move, its rhythm. It is those sounds of the thought that inner ear can hear in the solitude. The rhythm of the intenser, wordless thought that gathers in the silence behind life, and the slow, sweet, inarticulate voice of earth in the great passion of a sun-kissed trance ascended with its yearning undertone. Well, the thoughts, wordless thought, they also make sound, but the inner ear has the faculty of listening to the sounds of thoughts. Afar from the brute noise of clamorous deeds, she has left behind the marketplaces, the human civilization, human creation, and she is now in the bosom of nature. Afar from brute noise of clamorous deeds, the quieted, all-seeking mind could feel at rest from its blind outwardness of will. The unwearied clasp of her mute, patient love, and know for a soul the mother of her forms, the mother of her form, and know for a soul the mother of her form. Now, this is the important thing. It is the soul which knows the true form. Our mind cannot know those true forms. For a soul, soul is the mother of our form. Normally, we create forms through our mental imaginations. We create mental pictures, mental forms. But the true form is created by the soul. Afar from brute noises, that is possible when the mind has become really silent. Afar from the brute noise of clamorous need, the quieted, all-seeking mind could feel at rest from the blind outwardness of will, the unwearied class of her mute, patient to love, and know for a soul the mother of her form. He is really preparing us, the poet. The narrative is preparing us that Savitri is now going into deeper and deeper regions of calm, of spiritual isolation, so to say, from here. This spirit stumbling in the fields of sense, this creature bruised in a mortar of the days, bruised in the mortar of the day, could find in her broad spaces of relief. This spirit, we are caught by senses, our mental faculties, our sight, ear, nose, tongue, touch. These are the senses by which we see it. So it is that which is now freed from that. Because now you are in the pure contact of nature. This spirit stumbling in the fields of sense, this creature bruised in a mortar of the days, could find in her broad spaces of relief. Her stands for that nature, that surrounding, where Savitri has entered in. That emerald secrecy. Not yet was a world all occupied by care. This is a big commentary. Our world is occupied by care. But here is pure nature, and she has no worries. There are animals, there are birds, there are beasts of prey. They are with a kind of harmony with each other. Not yet was a world all occupied by care. The bosom of her mother kept for us still her austere regions and musing depths. So somebody had kept that thing for us, the bosom of that mother, her austere regions and her musing depths, her impersonal reaches, lowly and inspired, and the mightinesses of her rapture heart. Somebody has preserved those things for us. Muse lips, she knows the symbol mysteries. All these are symbol mysteries. And guarded for her pure-eyed sacraments. The valley clefts between her breasts of joy, her mountain altars for the fires of the dawn. The mountains are the altars, and there you kindle the fire of the dawn. And nuptial beaches where the ocean couched, and the huge chanting of the prophet woods. All that has been preserved for a certain purpose. Now, this is the description of the meeting of the lovers. And in that context, you have to see valley clefts between her breasts of joy, her mountain altars for the fires of dawn. Fields had she of her solitary mirth. Nature alone, nature, therefore solitary mirth. Plains hushed and happy in the embrace of light, pure sunlight. Alone with the cries of birds and hue of flowers. and wildernesses of wonder lit by her moons, and grey sheer evenings kindling with the stars, and dim movement in the night's infinitude. The whole picture of the day from morning till evening, you see, starts from the morning till late in the evening. Feels a she of her solitary mirth, plains hushed and happy in the embrace of light, daytime, alone with the cry of birds and hue of flowers, and wildernesses of wonder lit by her moons, and grey seer evenings kindling with the star, and dim movement in the night's infinitude. August exulting in her maker's eye, that nature. She is august, she is exulting in the eye of her maker. She felt her nearness to him in earth's breast. Converse still with the light behind the veil, still communed with eternity beyond, because not yet was a world occupied by care. A few and fit inhabitants she called to share the glad communion of her peace. The breadth, the summit were their natural home. Now he has taken us to the forest land and the type of people who are going to stay there. This is what he is going to describe from this point onward, from 31 till 48. The description of the rishis, of the sages, of the disciples who worked there, who did their tapasya, the whole description now starts from this point onward. So this is the nature. This is the place where Savitri has arrived, the land of tapasya. She has arrived there. And therefore in that land, full of nature, full of beauty, full of love, full of joy, full of originality of its innocence, a few, she has called whom? A few and fit inhabitants she called to share the glad communion of her peace. The breadth, the summit were their natural home. There are those few and fit inhabitants, those who are aspiring for spiritual life. It is they who have come here, and it is those places Savitri is going to visit now.